All right, everybody, welcome back to another video. And today we're going to be doing another 5-minute breakdown. As you guys know, we're going around all of Eastern Tennessee, highlighting different towns, giving you as much information as we can, all within 5 minutes. Now, today I'm really excited about this because we're going to be talking about a town that is very near and dear to my heart. We're going to be talking about Louisville, Tennessee. And that's right, I said Louisville. Okay, and you come down here with that Louisville stuff and people are going to know you're not from here. Louisville is in Kentucky. Louisville is in East Tennessee, and we're about to talk about it. So the zip code in Louisville is 37777. Easy one to remember, actually. There's just a bunch of sevens. But the general vibe of Louisville is going to be very lake town. Okay, very lake town and very country. And that's really become a very big draw to Louisville. So if you look at the map here, you're going to see a lot of farmland and you're going to see a lot of neighborhoods around the lakes, right? And so that's really your general vibe. Okay, now there's not a ton going on in Louisville aside from that, but that's really kind of one of the draws to Louisville now, which is really funny because whenever I was growing up, so I lived in Louisville from the time basically I was born until about high school, and then I moved back to Louisville for like one semester of high school, and then I moved back to Walland through the end of high school, and then I moved back to Louisville after, after high school. I've lived literally just about everywhere in Blount County at this point. But anyways, I say that to say it's funny because back then, like, people didn't want to live in Louisville because they felt like it was too far out. Well, now it's become kind of that sweet spot. Okay, and we're about to talk about that right now as we dive into conveniences in healthcare, right? So within Louisville, you really don't have a ton going on. You know, you're going to have your typical dollar stores, your gas stations. You do have a marina, and you've got a few little things, right? I'm not saying there's nothing there. There's definitely a few commercial things. You know, certainly some boat repair shops, some maintenance things of that nature. There's a few fast food restaurants, but in general, you're not going to find a steak dinner out there. You're not going to find a Walmart out there. You're not going to find anything like that. And back in the day, kind of like I was talking about in that Greenback video, back in the day, people were like, man, I don't want to live in Louisville. It's too far away. I remember even being a teenager when I got my license and I was like, golly, 15, 20 minutes, this is awful. I hate driving this far, But again, now, things have kind of shifted and now people are really targeting areas like that. And so Louisville has certainly been one of those areas. And one of the great things about Louisville is that you're 15, really 10 to 20 minutes, depending on how deep in Louisville you are, from Knoxville. And then you're like, 10, 20 minutes to Maryville. So you've got two wonderful areas where you can shop in. The part of Knoxville you're closest to is going to be North Shore, and you've got a Publix there, you've got a Target, tons of restaurants, all kinds of different stuff. And then if you guys have watched any of my videos in Maryville, there's a ton of stuff in Maryville as well. So I say all that to say that you're not going to find much in Louisville as far as healthcare, as far as conveniences go, but what you do have is very fast access to two wonderful areas that have, a great variety of both of those. Okay. Another great convenience to Louisville is that you're very close to McGee-Tyson Airport. So if you're someone who travels, if you're someone who just is going to have family in and out, wonderful, wonderful location for you. Okay. And so let's move on. And the next thing we're going to talk about is going to be the schools in Louisville, which is going to be William Blount High School. Okay, I actually went to William Blount High School for one semester. It's that part where I was talking about in high school where I moved back to Louisville and then moved back. And I just, I was younger, I was a teenager, and I'd made some really good friends at Heritage, which is where I went to school before. And so that's kind of why I was only there for a semester. But anyways, according to niche.com, William Blount is going to be coming in at a B- with their lowest score being a D in resources and facilities. Okay, William Blount is actually in Maryville. It's in the county part of Maryville. Okay, so now let's move on and let's talk about activities in Louisville. And like I said earlier, really a big part of Louisville is that lake life, right? So if you're into fishing, if you want to wakeboard, jet ski, if you just want to go for a dip, you just want to be around water, there's a ton going on in that aspect, right? So you've got the Marina, you've got some nice parks. You've got like Louisville Point Park, which is a really cool park. There's tons of areas to walk around. If you want to fish the banks, you can. There's places for your kids to get in the water to swim. There's little playgrounds. Louisville Point Park's really cool. There's several boat ramps all throughout Louisville, and one of those is at Louisville Point Park, but you've got like Georges Creek, you've got Ish Creek, you've got Poland Creek, and these are all areas too that are public access. So again, if you want to fish from the banks in these areas, you can, and all that good stuff. And a lot of them even have little swimming areas. You go to Ish Creek, gosh, in the summertime, and there's people everywhere. With that, you're also, like I said, you've got the Marina down there as well. And when I was, in my, early 20s, man, I was at that Marina all the freaking time because that was the closest place you could go and get a meal that wasn't fast food. And I think that was, at the time, that was the only place you could go and grab a beer. And so, me and my younger, earlier stages of life, me and my friends used to meet there. We'd have a couple beers. We'd have, a little Philly cheesesteak. We'd listen to some live music and just hang out on the water. It was a wonderful time. I really, really enjoyed that part of my life. But, other than that, you're not really going to find a whole lot else because, again, it's more country and rural, and you just don't have a ton of development like you do in Maryville or Knoxville. But again, you're not far from Maryville or Knoxville, so you have pretty quick access to both of those if what you're looking for is not within Louisville. So now let's move on and let's talk about pricing. And as you guys know, I am pulling numbers for all of 2023. So right now we just got into February of 2024. So I'm using all of last year. The median sold price for all of last year in Louisville, Tennessee was $495,000. Okay, that's the median sold price. So if you have any additional questions about Louisville or any of the other towns in our area, please just reach out to me. Like I've told you guys in the past, my goal on this channel is to make your relocation, your move, as easy and stress-free as you can. If you're just looking to move from town to town within East Tennessee or state to state, or maybe even country to here, whatever it is, I want to make that as smooth and easy for you as I possibly can. So give me a call, text, email, whatever works for you. Also, if you guys want to search for real estate, check out my website, realtorchev.com. Stress-free. I'm not going to cold call you or anything like that. You can go on there, search your little hearts out, and just see what East Tennessee has for you. But with that, I'm going to get off here, start working on another video, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Bye.